business going?
It's coming slowly but surely.
Okay. Well, I like that. It is sure, but it's coming slowly. So we know we are thriving with our business. So you're welcome. So she'll be co-anchoring with me today, and we'll be having Dr. Adejuwon to take us on our health series. But before that, just our normal thing, let's just come on board and say hi to ourselves by greeting ourselves. Good morning. Good morning. You are welcome wherever you may be joining us from. Say good morning. You can unmute yourself. You will.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you, SD. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good evening.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, boss Seton.
Good morning.
Good morning, Ma'am Gloria. Okay.
Good morning, Seton.
Good morning.
Good morning, boss Gloria. Okay.
Good morning.
Yes. So it's a beautiful time for us again. And we have Dr. Adejuwon in the house to give us on health talk. And Dr. Adejuwon is an obstetrician and a gynecologist, a consultant. He consults for big conglomerates, both local and international. He has a bachelor of arts from the, sorry about that. He has a bachelor of medicine and chirurgery, a fellow of the West African College of Surgeons, and a fellow of the National Postgraduate Medical College of Obstetrics and Gynecology. So join me as I make welcome for Dr. Adejuwon Oladapo. We call him Mr. D. You are welcome, sir. Are you there, doctor? You're welcome, sir. So you've got 40 minutes. Can you hear me, doctor? Doc, can you hear me?
Wave at him, wave at him.
Okay, he just sent me a message. I think the audio is there. He just sent me a message. I think he's having issue with his audio.
Let him look at top left. Maybe it is muted in the page.
Yes, that's just I want to.
It's muted in the page. You should look at it where you see some kind of X that is there. You should just click it and it will open up.
Okay, maybe it's gonna reconnect. Yeah, I think it's reconnecting. Okay, it's on now.
Okay, it's on now.
Can you hear me? It's re-echoing, doctor.
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, okay. So you're having issues.
I don't know why my video is off.
The video is off again. Okay, let me ask you to start video.
My video is... Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, you're back on now.
It's on now.
Okay. So you got 40 minutes, sir, or less.
Oh, okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
So the floor is yours. You can shoot.
I can share my screen now. Just hold on a second. I'm trying to share my screen. Okay. Can we all see the screen? This is certain.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Fantastic. So, great. So let's dive right into it. Sorry for the little issues here and the technology issues. Good day, everyone. I'm Dr. Adejumo, and it's always a pleasure coming around to share my thoughts on, certain. Okay, so on certain things we use and comparing, what we all do as lifestyle and then what I think we should do. Having done some researches into lifestyle modification and, how we should live right, basically. You see, all these things we share basically stemmed out of the fact that, personally, and this is not just what I mean, that's peculiar to me or what I know, personally, besides, just my personal thoughts. This is what is, it's out there, basically, is the fact that, you see, a lot of things that we inherited from our, parents and grandparents and great-grandparents and, ancestors, if I have to put it that way, that we jettison because of westernization, modernization, and all whatnot, might not be as bad as as we look at them. As a matter of fact, more recently, scientists are going back to see what are those things that people used to use. Back in the days that are, of great benefit health-wise, even though people back then are not particularly researching, they just found out that, okay, this thing could do this leaf could heal this one. This, if I, squeeze out juice from this and I drink, it could give me some energy boost and all that. And basically, they just go on and use these things. But over the years, westernization, modernization came, and people start to adapt to the current, adapted to the current world we live in. And so in trying to adapt to the current world we live in, unfortunately, somehow we tend to jeopardize a lot of things. Take, for instance, okay, so, modernization and technology, we have, building, roads, building, houses, are using all fossil fuels, building cars and the rest of them, just for us to be able to adapt to the current world, and invariably left us with issues that border on our health. So, for instance, we've been able to deplete by our activities on the surface Earth, we've been able to deplete significantly the ozone layer. So we're now under direct effect of the sun. And we know that, like I shared before, that, direct effect on the sun on your skin has a whole lot of deleterious effects, And then, all these things we do just to adapt to the current world eventually are impacting on our health. So invariably, we moved from living in the villages, living under the trees, having fresh air, green leaves, eating raw foods with all their raw energy still intact, to living in the cities, and then we get exposed to a whole lot of things. Honestly, there's so many things right now that we cannot but live with because we have adapted. So, but then, how do we run away from the health hazard that these our advancements are posed? And this is basically what we're talking about, really. We've already found ourselves in that situation. Yes, we've advanced. But we know that this advancement is not without its issues on our health, on our well-being, on our lifespan. So how do we then, while adapting to the advancement we currently experience in this today world, how do we adapt to this by limiting the deleterious effects these things have on us? Because if you take, for instance, I've said this many times before, people back in the ages used to live way much longer than we currently do live now. If you go back in, you know, those of us in the scriptures, Bible ways and all that, Bible days, where we have the likes of Methuselah who lived 900 and something years, and like that. But over the years, this lifespan kept going down and down, and it's almost looking like people in their 40s. I mean, if you get up to age of 60, it's looking like, you know, everybody's really congratulating you, like, wow, you've really done well. While in fact, as a 60-year-old man or woman, it should still be, it should just be like your life is starting. But at that, most of us have lost all the energy, we've lost all the vigor, we're already dealing with one ailment or the other, we're already dealing with hypertension, dealing with diabetes, dealing with what chronic issue, or sometimes cancer. And almost all these things are so much, they're chronic illnesses that some of them are more or less like, incurable. And this is not unconnected with the lifestyle we have chosen because of advancement over the years, the kind of food we eat, kind of environment we live, kind of work we do, and what all the things we get exposed to. So tonight, without perambulating so much, I'm just going to be talking about one of those things that science, we've brought into lifestyle that that might be having an effect on us one way or the other. I'm going to be talking about pots. I'm sure this is something all of us use in our various homes. Pot. It might seem really very funny that what are we doing about pot anyway? But I need to let you know that there's so many things you don't know about the pots you use in your kitchen, cooking wares that we all use in the kitchen. So you don't want to find out that you might actually be having some dangerous things in your kitchen that you make your food with on a daily basis, and then you can't do anything about it. And the truth is, these things are things we can actually prevent. Like I said, we get exposed to a lot of things that empower our health. But can we limit this, the effect of all these things, but one way or the other? Even though we cannot totally avoid all of them, but can we have a way we can limit some of these exposures? Because sometimes we don't even know what is killing us. We don't know what we are doing in terms of lifestyle and, choices we make that is killing us gradually. We don't know. Sometimes we have issues, diseases, and ailments that people get exposed to that, they don't even know how it came about. Some of these things are supposed to be familiar, and then you find out that this person had not even had a family history of such an ailment. Then how did this person get the ailment? So that's some of these questions we ask ourselves. Even as healthcare givers, we ask ourselves, how did this happen? Sometimes we don't even find answers to these questions, but we know we have to treat this condition anyway, so we go ahead and treat. But if we go deep down, it's most of the issues we have to a large extent are based on lifestyle choices, what choices you make, what you get yourself exposed to. And tonight, I'm going to be talking about pots. And I want us to please follow along and listen carefully. There's some information that I'm going to volunteer tonight that I found really very profound when I started looking into pots. And I felt that people should share. Should have an idea about what this is going on. So basically, I'm going to go through that, the content, the highlights that you're looking at. And you see, back in the days, what do we used to use as cooking pots? You can see from that picture, that's what our forefathers used to use as cooking pots. And believe you me, yeah, we've transited into something else, obviously. I don't think anybody has this kind of pot in their kitchens these days. doubt it. In fact, if you have it in your kitchen, people start looking at you like, okay, it's either that you're poor, which is one, or two, they give you one funny look like maybe you're doing one something traditional about it, like you can't have a very fine duplex and in your kitchen, if someone walks into your kitchen and see this kind of a thing, I'm sure they will just come out and run and like, we don't know what this guy is into, like something fetish. So, but the truth is, this was what our forefathers used. And what is good about this pot is the fact that it's made from clay. It's made from clay. And you see, clay is alkaline. So whatever you do, you make from this food alkalinizes your cooking pot, it alkalinizes your food items. And of course, we know alkaline is, we've talked about alkalinity and all that, several times. And we know that this is what our body needs, alkalinity. Because a whole lot of things that, happen to us, a lot of health hazard, actually, as a result of the fact that our bodies get too acidic. And for instance, we know right now that cancer cells tend to thrive in acidic medium. So whatever you do, you just want to go as alkaline as possible. Whatever you do, you want to go as alkaline as possible. So this is one huge benefit of using clay pots, and which we all have jettisoned over the years. I doubt if anyone still hasn't, except you go back to, to the villages and you can find this one. Even that, if that happens in the village, I'm sure people in the village these days are even using our, the pot we all use, so, but then this is where we transited from. And then we went to this fancy, beautiful looking mix of kitchen look like, damn, this is on point. But you see, there are issues here, and we cannot shy away from the fact that these cooking wares that we all are familiar with, that we hope use, have been found out to have one issue or the other. And it's basically based on the fact that when you do make, this cooking wares, make your food from this cooking ware, there are things that come up. And that's with the fact that, these cooking wares can leach their food items, their content into your food. And this is what we cannot afford to experience. You can imagine a cooking ware that has chemicals out of what it's made of, and it leaches that chemical into your food under certain conditions, especially when it's eaten. And gradually you are eating, beyond eating your food, you are eating chemicals. And some of these chemicals have been found to have, deleterious effect on our health. And in actual fact, some of them have been found to be carcinogenic. We have human carcinogens. So this is what I want to point out to us tonight. And I think we all should take a listen properly and, heed the advice. Health experts want us not to warm our foods in the microwave with plastic materials. And I know that we all have heard this countless times that, warm your food in ceramics but not in plastic materials and all. I say hope, because when you warm your food in the microwave with your plastic material, most of the plastics have what you call BPA, that's bisphenol A. And they sip this chemical into whatever food you're warming in the microwave at a certain temperature. So imagine eating BPAs in your food because you're warming your food with plastic materials that are almost all of them are BPA, laden. So yeah, these days some plastic, making companies have been trying to, you will see some of them will say it's BPA free, but I'm not sure any one of us looks at our plastic bottles or, and check if they are BPA free or something. Because BPA has been implicated in a whole barrage of health issues. Health issues like, kidney issues, heart condition, even cancer. A lot of health issues. Something we all can look at BPA and the health implications of BPA. That's bisphenol A. And this is what some of us ingest every day. In fact, the point is, I must tell you the truth is that some of us are eating our cooking waste, basically. That's what you're eating. You're eating your pot. You know, and you can imagine that, you know, you have pot, cooked your pot and start eating your pot. So that's what we're doing, you know, when we get ourselves exposed to some of these things. And one notable pot that in fact, a lot of people tend to use aluminum pots. And we know now that aluminum has a very high health implications, you know, because when you cook with aluminum pot and they leach the aluminum into your food, over time, the aluminum tend to start to accumulate, and they accumulate in your bones, in your liver, in the spleen, kidneys, and even in the brain. As a matter of fact, most times when we do a post-mortem for someone who dies from Alzheimer's or who had Alzheimer's disease, you know, one of the brain disorder issues that, you know, sometimes happen with older people. You know, sometimes when we do the post-mortem, we found out that almost maybe all the time, there's aluminum deposit, or something we call amyloid beta on their brains. So as a matter of fact, there was almost no time, there's no link between Alzheimer's disease, development of Alzheimer's disease in the brain, and aluminum deposit. As presently put by Dr. Christopher Exley, which studied, you know, Alzheimer's disease widely, he says emphatically no aluminum, no Alzheimer's disease. So imagine you getting exposed to aluminum deposit every now and then on a daily basis and over a number of years. And you have this aluminum deposit in different parts of your body system and causing one issue or the other, either with the liver or kidneys, because a lot of kidney failures are not necessarily because somebody is hypertensive. Some are because of toxins we ingested over the time. So this is quite serious. It's quite serious, and we need to take it more seriously. You may want to argue that, okay, so then doesn't mean that I just cook with aluminum pots and then doesn't mean automatically I'm going to develop. Well, the truth is, you may not develop aluminum deposit issues just simply because you cook with aluminum pots and the rest of it. But you may have another way in which, you know, your body finds a way to get them out. Maybe with some other lifestyle, the kind of food you eat, fruits and the rest of your lifestyle, you know, you may find a way. But you don't want to know that you're having that deposit in your body and it's not going out. So if it's avoidable, why not avoid it? Why not avoid getting yourself into that state in the first place? And this is what's going to be my advice. So if you can avoid using those kind of cooking wares, then why not just avoid it? And you may say, you know, most commonly, a lot of people use the stainless steel cooking wares, but we now know that stainless steel cooking wares a lot of times contain what you call chromium and nickel. And, you know, that is why they make it stainless. And it's also known that when you cook with stainless steel that has chromium and nickel, you know, to give it extra shine, you know, they have a whole lot of health implications, including skin issues, skin irritation, develop some skin problems, and even brain and kidney problems when you accumulate in your body system over a period of time. So you might want to rethink the kind of cooking wares you use. All of the name, this looks fancy and all that, or you just want to look modern. But this is what modernization has brought. This is the cons of modernization. And if you want to go non-stick pots, many of them out there. Non-stick pots, that's what most of us want to go for, especially with our frying pans and the rest of it. Good stuff. But you see, a lot of non-stick pots are coated to make them non-stick with tetrafluoroethylene, otherwise known as Teflon. And we know Teflon has mercury and cadmium, which we also know now that those constituents cause heart problems. As a matter of fact, Teflon, which is a waterproof, that's why it's used as a non-stick, it's waterproof compound. At high temperatures, break down and release toxic chemicals into your food, and also release toxic chemicals into the air. So beside the fact that you ingest it, the air around your kitchen where you're using that kind of pot is rich. I mean, it has Teflon all over the place, floating around. And we know Teflon also causes flu-like symptoms. Beside the fact that, yes, it also causes headaches after prolonged exposures. So these are the risks, we tend to, get ourselves exposed to. So what are the alternatives? What are the alternatives from your usual aluminum pot, your stainless steel pot, your your non-stick pot? Alternatives that a lot of people are using now. I'm just going to give you a few of them. One is this cast iron pot. I'm sure a lot of us are familiar with the
Well, I think Doc is having signal issues.
Just give him some time. Let's see.
Yeah.
You could.
And it's still there.
He will come up.
Wow. So these are some of the things I do tell some of my prospects that, can you imagine in the olden days, we have, or people in the village, as it were, that we have them growing older than those in the city. And have you actually imagined what causes it? And that they eat fresh. Let me put it that way. Some of them are vegetarians. They don't eat chemicals the way we eat in the city. And you find out that they said it's stress. It's not about stress, but what we take in, what we actually take in. And the doctor is actually emphasizing that again for us today. Doc, are you okay now? Hello, doctor. Wow. Maybe you should log in, log back in. Wow. And streaming on YouTube. Boss, is it possible you pause it? I don't know. I don't just, okay, maybe he's trying to relog it back. He's connecting his audio. Wow. Okay, I think it's connected now. Yes.
Okay. So let me go back.
It's one of those things. It's nothing we can't control that.
So can I continue now?
Yes, continue, shoot.
Hold on a second. Okay, can you all see my screen now?
Yes, we can see it.
All right, so let me continue. So I'm not sure where we lost connection, but I'll probably just run through, cast iron.
You are the cast iron.
Okay, so basically, the disadvantage with cast iron is the fact that it can rust easily even without you knowing. And you can imagine eating rust in your food items, because before the rust starts to show, it may be over time before the rust becomes noticeable. So, but then if it's getting roasted and you don't even know it, and then you're having rust, in your food items, see, that's going to be an issue. Otherwise, it's a fantastic pot. All right. So, but next thing is the granite wares, and which most of us are, familiar with. A lot. If you look at that picture, I'm sure it's something most of us are familiar with. And it might look safer than non-stick pots, honestly. But you see, what might make granite wares an issue is the fact that some of those granite wares are coated with Teflon that I mentioned earlier that I said has issues. For them to appear like granite, the way they appear like this, some of them actually are not granite itself. So, but we don't know which one are true granite pots, or we don't know which one are coated with Teflon that make them appear granite. So you don't know. And so because a lot of things go on up there, so you don't want to get yourself exposed to a supposed granite cookware that is actually not granite, but his Teflon blading, cookware that makes him look like he's a granite ware. Otherwise, it might just be a very safe pot to use if you have a granite pot. So, and then we got ceramic pots, good stuff. Ceramic pots are free of Teflon. We all know that because, of course, ceramics are made from clay. But the issue that you may have with them, not quite common though, but the issue you may have with them is that the non-stick quality after a while can fade away with time. And, if you use dishwasher, it may not be useful in a dishwasher because it can strip the non-stick coating if you constantly use a ceramic pot in a dishwasher. So that might just be the shortcoming of ceramic pot. Otherwise, a fantastic cooking ware to use, if you have access to one. And then copper pots is good, but heat retention is fantastic. So it makes your food, it distributes heat around your food evenly. But the problem with copper pots is that it requires polishing with lemon and vinegar and salt all the time for you to keep it in good shape. So if you use a copper pot and you don't clean it, you don't polish it with all these things I mentioned, lemon and vinegar and salt, otherwise you're going to have to lose the capacity to, not to leach into your food items. And of course, it starts to get rusted after some time. Another shortcoming is that it reacts with both acidic and alkaline foods. So sometimes you may find yourself tasting metals, in your food items. So then all these ones I mentioned, fantastic, better than all, aluminum and, your non-stick pot and stainless steel pot. But they are not also without their shortcomings. Then what is the ideal? What do I recommend? So this is what I recommend. And I recommend what you call an energy pot. And what makes this stand out after, after my extensive research is the constituent. It's because it contains what we call titanium. Okay, so what makes titanium different from all the other chemicals that I've been mentioning before? And this is it. It's because one, titanium is lightweight and stable, exceptionally strong. It's a stable metal and very strong metal. And it's acidic, resistant, and does not corrode easily on exposure to oxygen. So this makes titanium pot absolutely the ideal pot to use in the current times. Yes, you want to go modern, then you get yourself a titanic pot. That is how to go modern. Otherwise, go get yourself, a clay pot, which I know most of us would not want to put in our duplexes. So then why would not, if you want to go modern, then go the ideal way, go the best way you can ever go, And you cannot do wrong with a titanium pot. It's simple. Titanium has been found out to be safe health-wise. It's considered it's just your best choice, as a matter of fact. You're looking for a non-stick pot. It has non-stick capability. And so it prevents your food from getting burnt when with heat. And it retains the freshness of whatever you're cooking in there. If you're making your vegetables, it retains the freshness. So, but then what makes the long reach titanium pot exceptional is that beyond the fact that it retains the freshness of your food. For instance, your vegetables, when you cook in it, there's a bulb, an energy bulb under the cover. It creates an energy around your food materials. This energy, surface has a high anion content. We know what anion does. We've said this over and over again. Anion environment is like the ideal environment you want your body to get exposed to, because anything in an anion environment is free of germs. So it creates this kind of, ideal energy around your food. So it retains the original energy that is embedded in your food properties. In your vegetables, in whatever you're cooking in it. So nothing is lost. So you have the originality of your food items. And what else does titanium do? Titanium oxide coating on the surface shields your cooking ware from degradation. Even if it has a scratch, it repairs the scratch by itself. So this is then an ideal cooking ware that I'm going to suggest to you and I. And if you want to run away from issues from your pots, health hazard that you might be exposed because you're cooking with certain kind of pots and cooking wares, then the ideal to go for is a titanium pot. And of course, there are a couple of companies who make titanium pot, but what makes long reach titanium pot exceptional is the fact that it's not just a titanium coating, but the fact that it has an energy bulb that makes your food retain their originality and their energy constituent. And so you have almost 100% of whatever your food item has come up with ab initio, before cooking starts and at the end of cooking. And you just have the best. So this is what I'm going to suggest as an alternative, having gone through all that. So, and then have you ever really wondered, if back in the days, why people, like I said, used to live strong, healthy, and much longer? Like I said before, the likes of Methuselah and the rest of them. And then, of course, if you look at not very distant, our grandparents, how old they lived and how well they lived. My own grandmother died at age 120 something. And trust me, that woman, till she went to her grave, read with her eyes, still seeing perfect sight. And some of us have these aged people as examples to look up to. But most of them, if you know that their childhood, most of them had not been in the city. They live in our villages and all that. Maybe at some point we brought them to the city. But most of them started their childhood in the villages, and they got themselves exposed to, an environment devoid of, all these pollutants that we have in the cities, from industrial pollutants and the rest of it that we are breathing in the air. And then unfortunately, we don't have a lifestyle that mops all these things up. We don't have that lifestyle. We don't have a lifestyle that rests from our, hard work. We don't have a lifestyle that, eats healthy. We don't have a lifestyle that cooks healthy. So we get ourselves exposed to all these issues, one by one after the other, based on the kind of things we use, based on modernization. and then health implications come up. And trust me, it's always easier and better to prevent than to treat. Because one, most of the health implications that result from all these our lifestyle choices and exposures are chronic. So we tend to have to live with them for the rest of our lives once they develop, name it, hypertension, kidney issues, heart conditions, atherosclerosis, cancer, and all that. And then the moment they start, then we start having to deal with them. Some of them we have to be on certain medications, costly medications on a daily basis for the rest of our lives. Or some of them makes us really very sick that we have to be on admission time to time. Or some of them make us very extremely sick that we need machines to help us cope with the rest of our lives, maybe in the form of intensive care unit. And trust me, that is an expensive venture you do not want to get yourself into. Unfortunately, most of us who live in the developing world, we don't even have access to that kind of, high-tech healthcare. We all know. Let's not deceive ourselves. And if you must get that high-tech healthcare, then you must be ready to cough out a lot of money. So why don't we prevent? So sometimes I hear folks say things like, these things are quite expensive, to live a healthy lifestyle. Sorry, excuse me. It's an expensive, this supplement, that supplement is expensive. Getting your fruits from the village, having an orchard at the back of your house, getting your fruits raw and eating good and resting well is an expensive lifestyle. Trust me, it's way, way cheaper than when you have health issues to deal with, especially chronic and debilitating health issues. It's way, way cheaper. And the truth is, when those issues arise, the rate at which you start expending your life savings is unprecedented. Because everything, sometimes I've seen people, finish whatever they've saved up all their life, whatever they've worked for all their life. And beyond that, people still have to rally around them, spend their own money, cousins, family, immediate family members, spend their own money to make them healthy again. And truth is, again, I've seen people do all that, spend their own money, spend the entire life savings of other people around them, and then they still go away, leaving a lorry load of debt just because now they're sick. So tell me, which one is more expensive? To prevent this ailment from coming up in the first place, or to allow them plague us to the point where we are at the mercies of our healthcare system in the developing world? And in all honesty, there are not many hospitals in the developing world that have, the capacity to cater for a whole lot of ailments that we get, some of us come down with. And sometimes we don't even have enough resources, financial-wise, to go to the best of the best hospitals for the best of the best care. And so we have to manage. And so we get whatever we get. So can we avoid this? Then we need to choose wisely. I know, living healthy, growing old without health issues is a multifactorial thing, But you see, you don't know all these small choices you avoid or you clear off from your system, or these things you do add up to eventually get you into, a perfect health status, if there's anything like that, or perfect or near perfect health status. And then you can grow old without any health issues, without being carried around by your children or by your family members. And in truth, we all know now that age-wise, people don't live that long anymore. It's not connected with all these things we get ourselves exposed to. And believe you me, this is not just looking for what is not. Facts, studies have shown that we get ourselves to a lot of toxins in the environment, with our lifestyle, things we get ourselves exposed to are impacting greatly on our health. As a matter of fact, there was a research that was conducted, on, fertility, capability of couples. And he said in that research that by the year 2045, more than 70% of couples will need IVF to conceive. And basically it's because of the toxins we get ourselves exposed to. And not only that, some of us are exposed to these toxins and the babies we form are already coming up with those toxins because we have our sperm cells, our eggs are already exposed to those toxins. And so you can imagine you having a baby that's already in his early life, already exposed to some of these toxins. And then you can now imagine when those ones become adult and they want to start having their children, they already have health issues with their gonads, with their reproductive lifestyle and all that. So that is how we impact on the future generations by the actions we take today, by the things we ingest, by our lifestyle. So if these things are avoidable, I know we avoid as many as we can, especially where we have alternatives. And in this case, we have an alternative. God said we have an alternative. Remember this item, this thing I'm holding on, like Pike Up. I've spoken extensively about it. And because it's the fact that it alkalinizes your water. And that's what you have to have in your body all the time. This is one of the choices you make. And that is the same thing, the clay pot. You remember some of us that grew up in the village, there used to be that clay pot thing that where we put our water instead of the fridge, refrigerator. That's where you store your water, the drinking water, and you cover it with one plate like that. Every time you go into that water to drink, it's always cool. That is a characteristic of clay. Always cool, no matter what the outside temperature is, because of the porous nature of clay. And in addition to that, the clay alkalinizes that water for you. So, and that's what we've been able to modernize into this, basically. But way better than clay, storing for water safe, this one has other things, because beyond alkalinizing your water, it mineralizes your water, and it has very, very important item we call far infrared ray benefit. I've mentioned, all the benefits of far infrared, including, burning calories for you. So you can imagine that, we have, very fantastic way, you can actually pick alternatives to things that, we all use, and they are impacting greatly on our health. So, as a parting shot, we need to live intentionally. Nothing happens by chance anymore. As a matter of fact, in the current world we live in, you need to live intentionally. You need to make a decision to stay healthy or otherwise. It's no longer by chance. It's now by choice. It's a choice you and I have to make, how we want our old age to look like. And that starts from now. And it doesn't really matter if you already have an issue health-wise. It's not too late to start living differently, to make a different lifestyle. Maybe that way we may be able to, kind of stop the progression of whatever ailment we're currently dealing with from progressing to something, that might be horrible. So let's be very intentional about living healthy. That's going to be my parting shot tonight. Thank you very much.
Wow. What a session. Thank you so much, Doctor. Thank you so much that each time we call on you, you try to give us your best. He's a very busy person, and to do this, he has actually still out the time. It's not easy to get him down here. But before then, my co-anchor, Boss Glory Oke, has some questions for you. Now, we'll be giving questions, opportunity for prospects to ask their questions at the end of our presentations. So if you are raising your hand now or anything, we may not attend to you. We still have 1 month presentation to go, and after it, we'll do Q&A session. Doctor is still much around and to answer us. Back to you, ma'am. Back to your mute.
Thank you very much, Bositon. Oh my God, that was very, very insightful and very, very educational. Dr. Olajuwon, we thank you very, very much for, I know that anytime you come to us, it's always some wonderful nuggets, that we get from you. So we really, really thank you on giving us that education on how we can, make better choices as far as using the right product for our health and for our future generations. We really thank you, Dr. Adejuwon. And because you're very, very busy person, right, we always want to take advantage whenever we get you online, with us. We always want to take up that opportunity to just, get some extra nuggets from you. So we just want to ask you 3 important questions this evening. And I know that our guests and as are going to benefit from that. So I know that towards the end of your presentation, you mentioned something about supplements, which is a way of, making conscious efforts to live healthy. So my first question to you right now is, now as a doctor and as a gynecologist for that matter, how do you feel about supplements? What's your take on supplements?
All right, thank you so much, Madam Gloria. Well, I'll just go straight to that. Supplements are just like food items that some of us don't get to eat raw as food items. Perhaps because most of the times when we say we buy food, fruits, and the rest of it that supply us vitamins and all these antioxidants. Unfortunately, most of the times, by the time we're actually getting to ingest these food items, most of them are already, they've depleted the raw energy that they have in them. And because they stayed out of that source, which is the tree, they stayed off the source for a considerable length of time, they already start to go through what we call oxidative process, which is a decaying process. So by the time some of us are ingesting these fruits and vegetables and whatever food it is, so many of them don't have those, full complement of whatever the antioxidant capacity they have anymore. So hence we may need to supplement from other sources. And that's provided we're supplementing from, supplements from products or from companies that have a capacity to keep them in their raw forms for a considerable length of time. So your source of supplement is also important. And why do you always have to need supplement? Because they are the antioxidant capacity. The truth is we all get ourselves exposed to free radicals, whether we like it or not. Free radicals have been implicated in a lot of health issues, and part of which I mentioned, even the sun rays. When you go out and the sun impacts on your skin, bottom line is that you generate free radicals from the skin, and some of them get absorbed through the blood vessels beneath your skin, and then they get circulated around your body system, and get deposited in different parts of your body and start to cause issues. The effect of free radicals are multivariant. So, and it can cause any problem, any part of the body. So because we generate a lot of free radicals and they can cause health issues, and they do cause health issues, then we need supplements that are antioxidant based to deal with these free radicals. And it's as simple as that. If you can stop them from going haywire by getting antioxidants in your body system, then by all means do. And most antioxidants come in form of supplements. Most antioxidants come in form of supplements. So that's why we will need supplement. Because the truth is, whether we like it or not, we would have free radicals. All of us have free radicals in our bodies, circulating, and we know what free radicals do to us, to our health. So you need antioxidants in form of supplements to cope with these, free radicals. So basically, that's why we all need supplements.
Wow.
Basically.
Well, thank you very much. Because how some people are still wondering why supplements, why should I or why shouldn't I? But now, coming from you, with your wealth of experience, we now see the need, for us to, why supplements is a necessity. It's very imperative, that we take them. Thank you very much for that information. And so my second question is now this. So I know, because I've heard some people say, or some doctors say to me, so my question to you now is, why do some medical doctors frown upon the use of supplements? Now you say it's okay. I think it's okay. But why do some medical, doctors frown at it? They're like, I don't think so, but, like that. So what do you think?
Sorry, I muted. I'm sorry. I muted. All right. So I'll tell you why it's simple. The way we are trained is such that we trained a lot of times about treatment, about treating, rather than about prevention. So even disease conditions that, have preventive, modalities, most honestly, you have to constantly remind yourself as a doctor that, okay, this is how to prevent this thing. Most times we are so more about treatment when they've already occurred than prevention. And I was like that. And that's basically how our training went. And another reason is because we felt that these are, herbs. And herbs are not, things we're trained about. We're trained about Western medications or lifestyle modification if you have to prevent anything at all. So, but then because we think these things are herbs, and we're not trained about herbs. And so we just don't want to have a second look at it. But in all honesty, WHO, World Health Organization, had recognized alternative medicine as one of the key health, what's it called, pediatric health and the rest of this. So it's recognized by WHO now. The only thing is that, yes, we know it has to be regulated. We know it has to be authentic. We know it has to be dosed. So you don't just want to start chopping that leaf anyhow and start chopping off the bark of a tree and start cooking everything together and put the urine of cow and put the cow dung and the rest of it and mix everything together and then form something we call, herbs and agbo and the rest of them. So there has to be an appropriate use of herbs. There has to be appropriate dose of herbs. There has to be appropriate application of herbs, because I can tell you a lot of times people have used herbs for horrific things. And then when the results come, we know that this is, even if you want to use it, this shouldn't have been the way to use it. I've seen people put herbs in their private part to treat fibroids. So they put herbs in their private part, and then these herbs are corrosive. And so it corrodes the vaginal walls. I hope I can use that word. I mean, if I can call this, I'm sorry. It corrodes the vaginal wall and blocks the space. So a lot of times we have to reconstruct a new vagina by plastic surgery. And this I've seen many times, trust me, many times. Not only village people, I'm talking educated fellows.
Wow.
And, people go to any extent to use herbs and what have you. So there has to be an appropriate way to use it. And this is why my colleagues will frown at it. But you see, I would say don't judge a book by the cover. Things are not always the way they seem. That's what I would tell them. The truth is, the first time I had to take a decision to have a second look at this, after I had to do an extensive research of some of the, these supplements and things like that. Quite extensive. It took me months to do some researches before I even start talking to anybody. The first time I was going to open my mouth and talk to people, I gathered my colleagues together. SD Daniel would bear me witness. Those are the first set of people. Some of them are my colleagues, consultants and medical officers and the rest of them. I gathered all of them in a room. So let's talk about certain things I found out. And trust me, at the end of that lecture, all of them, the entire people, SD Daniel was there, 100% believed, oh, wow, so this is a different, that they never saw it this way. So the thing is all about research. It's all about having to have a second look at these things. And you know, it might not even be bad at all. But you see, people are so rigid and regimented in their mindset. And it's so difficult to get them to even have a second look at all.
Yeah.
So, but then I tell you, even as of now, it's not everything we have answers to as to ailments and issues. We know it. There's sometimes we don't have a say about the diagnosis. We don't even know what condition this is. So we just want to treat based on your complaint, based on your symptoms. We can't even put your condition in a diagnosis. It's not everything that has diagnosis. It's not everything that we know the cause. It's not everything that we know how it's going to progress in the Western medicine. So it's not everything. So because of that, that's what brought me here, because I've been in the 4 walls of the hospital and I'm asking a lot of questions that I don't have answers to about this person sitting right in front of me. And then I looked at, okay, so let's have a look, because then again, I compare my lifestyle when I used to grow up in the village and things I saw then and things I see now. It's a total variance. It's a total variance. So this is why, you know, I think my colleagues are still a bit adamant, but trust me, with time, they will get to go through the flow. So that's it.
I can say very much. Thank you very, very much. Oh,
thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Doc. I kind of resonate with some of these things you're saying. And when it comes to the issue of using herbs, doctors frown at it so much. And like that, if I'm right, I think one of the herbs, this folic acid, this medicine, they said is this wedu leaves, the vegetable wedu. So those are some of the things we heard then. But on a side note, let me just ask you this, doctor. Now, why do some people say, oh, is doctor still here? Dr. Dejuwon, we've got one more question for you. You are muted just in case. So what do you say to people who see the long reach business as something they can't even actually make time for? Now, we know you are very busy, even in your medical field. Now, you still participate on long reach. Then, among other things, how do you relate to that?
All right, so, I mean, how did I come into long reach? It's basically, like I tried to say with the last question, is basically about certain questions I started asking myself, and I felt that, okay, so I don't have answers to this question. So how do I go about it? Then I look back at my life growing up in a village setting and things I used to see, and then things I see now, and then I felt that, okay, so right, because the truth, when I used to grow up in the village, truth be told, there are things we do in a natural way to some of these issues. You have a cut on your whatever on the farm and all that. There are some leaves, we just squeeze out the juice and put inside that cut, and then you are fine, you're good to go. So even though I don't have a scientific basis for some of those things we do then, in fact, virtually all the things we do then, but I do know that it's not all the time bad stuff, like you can't just do that and everything is, it's not all the time we do that, because in actual fact those things work in certain ways. So, and then if I looked at the lifestyle of people back then, I said, these people live very old, they're still agile in their 90s on the farm. A lot of us in our 60s, we're so down, no energy, everything is lost, we can no longer contribute meaningfully to anything productive. We are dealing with 2, 3, 4 kind of chronic issues, health-wise and all that. So, and then this is the things that happen now in these days. I've seen 40s, people in their 40s having so much to deal with health-wise. This is not right. And people need to know that we make some of these choices because of where we find ourselves. And this is not right. So yeah, I know we can't ask everybody to go back to the village anyway. So, but can we bring village back to where we are by some of these choices we make? So this is what led me into making research into, So while I chose long reach was because I felt, okay, so I tried I looked at the company profiles of some of them because I need something reliable, something still scientific, something herbal, but still scientific. So I need a company that produces with scientific basis as their, as their, the background. Then I compared a couple of companies who make supplements and all that. So I found Long Reach profile really very profound. And that was one thing that caught my attention, and was because Long Reach has, what do you call it? A lot of other multinationals that get something, produced for, with them. So Long Reach produces certain things, with some other multinationals. And some of these multinationals, for instance, GSK Pharmaceutical is a world-class pharmaceutical company. I prescribe some of GSK's, products to my patient as a doctor, notably the Cervarix vaccine, HPV vaccine, human papilloma vaccine is made by GSK Pharmaceuticals. And this is one thing I prescribe to my patient to prevent cervical cancer. So if I trust a company like GSK to make a vaccine, a Cervarix vaccine that I prescribe to and the GSK trusts a company to help them make some things, then I thought that, okay, there's something interesting about this company. Then I have to have a second look at this company's product. That is why I started looking into Long Reach products. And trust me, I've done an extensive research on Long Reach products, one after the other. And some of them I've shared, some of them is still in the cooler. So, and in all honesty, this is a company. Company, there's no gainsay. It's not missing word. This is a company that is involved in research and development, and the things they've done are quite interesting. And it takes someone who is research oriented to note them, or who has interest, basically. And things I've seen about all these things they produce. Trust me, it's world class. It's world class.
So thanks so much, Doctor. Thanks so much, Doctor. I know you still stick around. We'll take questions from the participants at the end of our presentation. Thank you so much, Doctor. Always on point and outstanding here. I'll stick around. Over to you, Boss Gloria. Unmute yourself, please.
Yeah. Thank you very much for that session, Dr. Adejuwon. So right now we're going straight into our entry level, and I'm going to have to introduce someone who is a very, very important part of our training. Our 3SD hails from Delta State, Nigeria. He's a graduate of Bayero University in Kano, Nigeria, with a BSc, with a BSc in economics, MSc in business development and innovations from Ulster University, United Kingdom. He has a 7 years partnership with the Long Reach platform. He's climbed through the rank and file to the present rank of 3-star director. His experience in team building, training the trainers, and leadership development. He's trained in both African and Western way of doing things, and currently he's a business analyst and a developer. So I'm introducing to you our 3SD, Mr. Emmanuel Eduru.
Thank you. That was a wonderful one. Today is a beautiful day. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone on this call. I hope we are getting value for what we have heard so far. Dr. Adejuwon has been explosive in all his presentation. What he has done today was another level altogether. But like as the saying goes, those who have ear, let them hear. Many are called, few are choosing. So when you see people like Madam Comfort Abundance, Gloria Oke, and the Esther Magari changing ranks from diaspora, don't think they got it on a platter of gold. It's because value is being added to them and they're always there. They show up, they don't show off. So thank you very much, Mr. Seton, Gloria, and Dr. Adejuwon for what you have done so far today. We will be entering another phase, which is digging into the Long Reach proper. For the sake of those that are coming for the first time, we will hear a little bit about this Long Reach and how you can actually use it to make money and invest for your future. So I'll be going straight to my slide.
Whoa, I think the SD just lost its connection. I don't know what happened. That's serious. Don't know what happened. Let's just hold on a minute. Now, if you are yet to subscribe to Long Reach YouTube channel, the Long Reach CIG, I will advise that you go there now. I noticed the number of subscribers now. So if you are just subscribing, just put in the chat, I just subscribed. For those that have already subscribed, don't worry. Okay, the SD is back on now. So go to the YouTube channel, because the recording of this session may not be shared to you, but you go back to YouTube to rewatch. You can even download if you want to download from there. Welcome back, boss.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
All right. Can you see the screen I'm sharing?
Yeah, you can just go to full screen. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Are we good to go?
Go ahead, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. All right. First and foremost, 3 basic things comes to your mind when you want to, choose a company or go into the MLM industry to explore. You have to choose the right industry, which is the right firm, which is a company, then follow the right person. So among these 3, whatever you do, if it's aligned with these 3, automatically you are going to get to higher places in this business. Now, this industry is all about the sharing economy. Most especially our platform, the Long Reach platform, is a full-time sharing economy investment. So we have a role to play. The moment you hear the word sharing, it means every party has a role to play. Take note of the word sharing economy. You are not being paid salary. You are not just being paid commission. You are sharing profits. This is a business based on network, not based on self-profit model. So bear that in mind. Everyone can benefit from each transaction through sharing platform. Business and profits are connected and even can reach each corner of the world. It means sharing economy is equal to network business. Without network, there is no sharing. Now, Long Reach has been in existence for over 30 years. What does Long Reach actually do with 35 years history? 20 years was used in products developing and branding, while 15 years wealth sharing. we are still on the way. Let's go. Now, this is the global market. To date, the Longbridge trademark is registered in 138 countries and regions worldwide. These are the countries: Nigeria, South Africa, Cameroon, Botswana, Zimbabwe, Gabon, Democratic Republic of Congo, Ghana, Togo, Benin Republic, United Kingdom, the USA, Canada, and all that. Also in the Asia world. Now, these are the Longbridge factories. The one on the top left is the one in China, the smart factory in China, while the one by the right is the Nigerian factory, the new factory. Now, this is the parts, a section of the factory in China where products are being produced. You see where products are being stored when they finish production before they are delivered, taken out of the factory. Now, Longbridge does not produce to keep. They produce on demand because they use the lean approach. This is an area view of the factory in Lekki. This is just a prototype of what we have in Lekki as we speak today. This is the hall, about 5,000 capacity, seating capacity. Now, like what Doctor was saying, that because Longbridge produces products with scientific knowledge, which means they were trying to bring things like the energy pots he was talking about, instead of using clay pots, they use technology to bring back nature. That is exactly what you see in that pot, using technology to bring back nature. And it is as a result of the R&Ds Longbridge has, the one in France, America, Japan, and China. Right now, Africa is part of it, so we move. The Longbridge brands, Super Clean, Evergreen, Classy Style, Nutrivie Rich, A+, these are the different brands that is associated with Longbridge. Now, Longbridge is into other investments, stock company in Suzhou, property investments, apartment, shopping mall, banks. They also provide huge capital and fund support for group. What I'm telling you is real. As a staff director in Longbridge, you will get to know more about all these aspects. Now, these are some of the companies that Longbridge manufactures for under the OEM agreement. Of course, you heard GSK, Unilever is there, Nestle. The GSK we are talking about is the GSK in China. China has over 1.4 billion population. Every Sensodyne toothpaste that is seen in China's supermarkets or shops is produced by Longbridge. Marks and Spencer is there, Tesco is there. I personally have entered Tesco in a China shop, Unilever, Nestle, Shiseido, and all the rest. Shiseido is a massive retail departmental store in just like Walmart in China. Now, there is something unique about these two products. The product on top is a toothpaste, Sensodyne toothpaste 100 gram, while the product under is a toothpaste from Longbridge, still 100 grams. Now, the producer, if you look at the manufacturer, is the same people that manufactures it, which means Longbridge. Don't forget, Longbridge is the owner of Suzhou Colori Cosmetics, which is the name they gave the one in Nigeria, yeah? The R&D, the factory in Nigeria is Suzhou Colori Cosmetics. So the same producer here, you can see manufactured by Suzhou Colori Cosmetics, Longbridge Biological Industrial Park, the same here, Suzhou Colori Cosmetics. So now, this is a proof that Longbridge actually manufactures this product for them. We have Avon and all that. Now, when we look at the products, these two different products, when we convert the exchange rates, you see that Longbridge sells its toothpaste for 2,400. It's because they are of the same class. You know, they have the same class. The toothpaste have the same class. Sensodyne toothpaste is not cheap anywhere. Go and look for it. It's expensive. So these toothpastes are of the same class. Now, it is good to use any of the toothpaste, but what is the difference? Gain bonus through sharing when you use Longreach toothpaste, but when you use the other one, you don't gain anything. Now, there are varieties of products, you know, into different categories. You can say healthcare products, daily cosmetics, household products, skincare products, health machineries. So all these put together makes up the product of Longreach. There are over 2,000 in units. Now, the brand value of Longreach is about 2.5 billion. Brand value, $2.5 billion. Now, bonus. What's happening? The variety award incentives. We have bonus incentive, tour award, overseas studies, and car award. These are what Longreach gives out in terms of profit sharing. Now we have, these are trips from Longreach partners, different parts of the world. Longreach to Global Journey, we call it Global Journey, World Redistributors Recognition Rally. This is always done in China every year, but last year we didn't do that because of COVID-19. These are different functions, events by the company. This is in Nigeria. This car award was in China, where they gave about 3,000 Mercedes-Benz, 5,000 Mercedes-Benz in one day. So now, Suzhou University is for Longreach star directors. Before it was Diamond 7, now is for only star directors that are qualified, that are active, star directors that are very active, get this scholarship for their award, for their children. So if you get to star director, you can apply for your child if you are very, very active. Inactive star directors cannot get it. There's a threshold you must achieve before you can get this for your child. Longreach is spread across many countries today in Nigeria. Now, let's get some statistics of the company. In 2018, new branch office in Angola, Zambia, Uganda, and Kenya. Oh my God, what is happening? In 2019, all area of the Eastern, Western, Middle, and Southern Africa. In 2020, the whole of African continent has been covered. Longreach factory has been completed with over $104 million production ability to support all branch office and national stockist market. Yes, it will also lead to exports. In 2020, Longreach was able, achieved $200 million production ability to support whole African continent markets. Then let's look at the statistic of Longreach family members in Africa as at 2020. This year's statistics is not yet out, but from 2017, we had 400,000 members in Africa. 2018, it rose to 800,000 people. And then by 2019, we had 1.5 million partners in Africa. By 2020, it rose to 3 million. Hopefully, by the end of this year, we'll come out with another statistics for the year. The future of Longreach is to conquer the whole world from Africa, and that is exactly what we are actually doing. It was from Africa, we took the business to Europe. From Africa, we took the business to Great Britain. Now we are moving to the Americas. So it is our belief that we will always strive no matter the challenges. Longbridge business is built based on integrity, honesty, and trust. Wish everyone gets resources in Longbridge. Best wishes to everyone. One Africa, one dream. We are on the way. Thank you.
Wow, thank you, boss. Please
you.
stick around though, because we have lots of questions. We have lots of questions to ask. So the boss did not take the compensation plan aspects. So we'll be given one of the top leaders to do that for us, but I will share the screen for her. So we'll be having Marvel Sajere. She is an administrator in a certified entrepreneur with LLBI and an advocate of personal development. Now, she is the head of school, West Camp Academy in Ogudu, GRA Lagos. Now this West Camp is designed to help grasp, you understand, the basic knowledge about the platform and become a better version of themselves. So Marvel is actually married to the Okpomu one, that is Bishop Wealth. They are blessed with twins. You are welcome, boss. I call you Mama Ejima.
Thank you, boss Seto.
You are welcome. Always looking Longbridge, always looking radiant. You are welcome. Let me, please, because of our time, just try to use like 10 minutes.
Okay, that's fine.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay, good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for this great opportunity. Are we here? Okay, great. Boss Seto, we might not be using this slide, okay? Basically, what the compensation plan is actually the reward that one gets when you join the company. The reward that you get when you join the company, when you join the business. All right, so I'll go straight into having heard about what's how big, how gigantic this vision is. How do you need to start this business? What do you need to start up, you know, to become a partner or to share profits with this company? All right. You know that when you want to join a club, there are different packages that are available, just like your subscription too. When you want to subscribe for your DSTV, there are times you look at a particular package and you say, oh, I can't afford this. I want to go for this. Or I want this because I want this particular station channels to be showing. That is the way it is with the packages in Longbridge. Okay, for you to join and become a partner, you need to choose any of the membership level or entry level, as you may call it, or subscription that you would, you know, you can afford. And then you can start up with. We have what we call the Platinum VIP. That's the first package. And that Platinum VIP has encompassing of 1,680 point value. So for every product that you purchase in Longbridge, there are point values that are attached to them. For every product that you purchase, there are point values attached to them. If you're able to select product worth 1,680 point value, irrespective of your location, irrespective of your country, we have a universal currency that is called the point value. All right, so if you're able to make up 1,680 point value, you can be able to start with the Platinum VIP package. That Platinum VIP package entitles you to 12% of purchases that other people you refer to come in with. And then you partake of 1% global sales profits that is shared among the VIPs. So it's a unique package on its own. It is the highest entry level. Okay, just like I mentioned for different packages. It means that as you come in as a VIP, you're entitled to other things that are different from when you come in with a lower package. Not that the lower package is not good, all right? But we have advantage over, it has an advantage over the other ones. Now, the next one you can be looking at, if you cannot afford the VIP, is a platinum package, the platinum membership, all right? Which when you select product worth 720 point value, you can be able to start. I'm not calling a particular amount because we have people from diaspora here. And so our currencies differ, but our universal currency is the point value. So we should be looking at where we have that point value displayed on our board. All right. So if you have a 720 point value, you also partake of, so you actually earn 12%, just like a VIP, okay, of purchases that are done as you refer people to join the business. The difference between this and the VIP is that you are not earning the 1% of the profit that is shared among the VIP. If you want to go a step lower, you can decide to join as a gold partner, the gold package, okay? The gold package is 240 point value, which you will earn 10%. So in Long Ridge, you can choose products of your choice. All of those packages that I'm calling, you can decide to choose the products that you want. You're not limited from choosing your from making your choice of products. Now, the one that is after the gold is a silver package. A silver package with 120 point value, you can choose, you can start up the program and you can earn 8% as you refer people to join the business. So the Q silver, the qualified silver, is 60 point value that you need, or the 120 is the silver package. Either of it, you still earn 8% on purchases that you refer. We have a list called a list package, which is not in every country, but some African countries do have that package. We call it the starter package. It is for people who are willing to start, even though they don't have the actual amount or the way they actually want to start the business, but so that they don't just start analyzing and keep wasting their time, they can decide to start with this little package. Now, this package is 4 PV in Nigeria. I do not know, I think Kenya upgraded their PV. So for Nigeria, it is 4 PV, and it is a stipulated amount of 14,000 Naira for Nigeria. In this package, you cannot choose your products. Now, for you to be able to partake or earn the bonuses or make the kind of money that people are talking about in this business, you need to start off with a particular package. You need to choose a particular package that you need to start off with. Okay, when you do that, the system actually recognizes you as a partner. All right. So we said that there is a maximum of 3 legs. So it means that when you're coming in to, refer or tell 3 people about your business, 3 people to purchase into the product, 3 people to buy your vision. All right. And when those 3 people come in, well, they also talk to other 3 people. So it is called a 3x3 matrix. So as you're coming in, it's just a 3-person coming in under you. So if you have a spillover more than 3, it means that the next one will have to go under any of these people directly under you. There is no time frame. So we're not putting anybody under pressure. The only pressure you see in Long Ridge is the one that you have put on yourself. So if you give yourself a target, if you say, oh, I've set a goal for myself, by so and so time, I'm going to get here. That is the only pressure you can experience here in Long Ridge. Nobody forces you. Nobody pushes you, okay? You only give yourself that kind of push that you deserve, that you think, you want. Then you can grow at your own pace. If you think you want to make 5 years to get to where you want to get to, beautiful. If you want to make it in 1 year, give yourself a target, run with it, and do what is required of you. Leadership is easily achievable. in this business, once you're able to bring in 3 people, once you're able to sell your vision to 3 people, and they are able to understand the vision and duplicate themselves exactly what you have done, you're automatically a leader, all right? Because you've actually birthed another set of you that is ready to run those vision. Then there are weekly bonuses. Like I said, if you want to enjoy all of the benefits, you need to choose a particular package. You need to learn the business, which is there is a recruitment in the business. I am not shy. Usually I used to say, oh, so you just tell people, really, you tell people to come and purchase the business. You sell the vision, you sell the product, you sell everything that is in the business for people to do, because there is no business that have sustained, without people. There is no business that people does not buy into. You need people for you to push any business, no matter what it is, even your 9-to-5 job. If I build a company and I don't have people in there, nothing is going to happen. So we all need people all around us. So we shouldn't be shy telling people about the product, the efficacy of the product, the benefits of the product, and then we earn, okay? The SC has mentioned initially that it is a sharing economy that we are in, but you need to do the work. What is the work you need to do? You need to tell people about the product. And so when you do that, and money exchange hands, okay, the person gets the product, the money gets to the company's account, then you can earn on a weekly basis. There is no monthly mandatory purchase. So nobody is saying that because you're not purchasing this particular thing, you're not going to earn so and so and so and so. Your bonus is going to be paused. Nobody does that, okay? So long as you're actually working your work, your leadership and development bonus is paid to you on a weekly basis, okay? We don't have a mandatory purchase. That is what some other people call authorship. And then the last one is the unlimited accumulation of bonus points. So in this business, if you come in and then the people directly or indirectly under you purchase the product, as they buy, use the product, whether in Nigeria, outside of the country, the points accumulates. The same point that will that you will need to be paid with is the same point that will qualify you for TRIS, is the same points that will also earn you your car. It's the same points that will grow you in ranks. There are a lot of benefits in this business, but like I said, you need to learn the rudiments and then you need to work it. Then you will enjoy all of it. Thank you very much, Mr. Seton.
Wow, thanks so much, boss. I'm just trying to flash some of the few countries we have.
Okay,
for
beautiful.
them to see, yes. It's the same qualification and all that. So it's just the currency that is different. The
Exactly.
EVs are the same. So that's for Ghana and all that. Thank you so much, boss. We know some of you like that. Even if you are in your sleep, we call you, you are ready to do it. It's in the blood, it's in the DNA. Thanks so much for your time. Thanks so much. All right. On a last note, we're going off the YouTube now. Boss, is that